So, today we're going to dive into a really beautiful story about how patience and a little bit of curiosity can bridge the gap between generations. And believe it or not, it all starts with a simple watch.
And that's the voice of 6-year-old Anya talking about her grandfather's watch. I mean, think about it. For a kid who's only ever seen glowing numbers on a screen, this thing with its weird moving arrows is just totally alien. And right there, that sets up the whole story. So this is really the first step in Anya's journey, right? She's seeing something she thought she knew, time, but in a way that makes absolutely no sense to her. How do you even begin to understand a world made of silent, circling arrows? And here you can see that gap laid out so clearly. You've got Anya's world on one side. It's instant, it's digital, there's no mystery. And then you have her grandfather's world. It's mechanical, it's symbolic. You actually have to interpret it. This isn't just about two kinds of watches. It's really about two totally different ways of seeing the world. This right here, this is the question that unlocks everything. It's so simple, so honest, and it comes from just pure curiosity. See, Anya doesn't just dismiss what she doesn't get, she asks about it. And that question, that is always the first, most important step to learning anything new. But as soon as she asks, her curiosity hits what feels like a giant brick wall. Because the answer isn't some quick, easy explanation. Nope, it's a challenge. And this is just brilliant. Her grandfather, Dadu, he doesn't just hand her the answer. He gives her the very first piece of the puzzle. He gets that to tackle something that seems impossible, you have to break it down into something you can manage. So for him, the journey to telling time, it starts with simple multiplication. Okay, so this brings us right to the heart of the story, the actual process. It's all about how a grandfather's patient, thoughtful guidance can transform this confusing object into something that actually makes sense. And his method is it's beautiful in its simplicity. He doesn't dump all the information on her at once. He builds her knowledge up, layer by layer. First, the math. Then the pieces of the puzzle, the three hands. And finally, he shows her how it all connects. It's really a masterclass in how to teach someone anything. Wow, what a perfect way to put it, right? This is that magic moment, that click of understanding. Those moving arrows are no longer just random pointers spinning in a circle. They're communicating. They're telling a story. They're telling her the time. And this right here shows you the huge shift in her perspective. The watch itself, it didn't change at all. It was always just there, patiently taking away. The thing that changed was Anya. Through this process of learning, she was finally able to meet the watch on its own terms. So all of that patient work, all those little steps, they're all building up to this one moment, the payoff. The moment Anya realizes, hey, I can do this myself. And then it just clicks. Suddenly, all those abstract ideas, the multiplication table, the different hands, what they all mean, it all falls into place. She's not guessing anymore. She can actually see it. And it's not just that she can read one time, she can read any time. That code that once seemed totally impossible to her, yeah, she's cracked it. This isn't just about memorizing a few examples. No way. She gets the whole system now. This is what true mastery looks like. And there it is, the pure, unfiltered joy of accomplishment. This was never just about reading a clock. It's about taking on a challenge, about making something that felt impossible, possible. You can just feel the pride in her voice as she runs to tell her mom about her new superpower. So let's zoom out for a second, because as you've probably figured out by now, this story isn't really about learning to read a watch. It's about something much, much deeper. This is the whole point. Dadu didn't just teach her about hours and minutes. He gave her a blueprint for how to learn, period. He showed her that any big, scary, impossible problem can be broken down, and with a little patience and guidance, it can be understood. And this really is the ultimate takeaway. The most important lessons we learn in life are rarely about the subject itself. They're about the connections we make with the people who guide us. The real gift Dadu gave Anya wasn't the skill of telling time. It was the memory of his patience, his wisdom, and his love. So as we wrap this up, that's really the question to leave you with. Who was the Dadu in your life? Who is that person who took the time to patiently break down something that seemed impossible, and in doing so, taught you something far more valuable in the end?